while this is going on and you're going to Kosovo, where's your family?
Well, they got
My
sent
family-
to. Go ahead.
Yeah, my family got here just like 1 year, like before I just start my paperwork started.
Right.
I just start moving from Turkey to Qatar, then to Kosovo.
Right.
They just got here.
And they're
from
in
US.
where are they? They're
They landed in a place called Fort Picket in Virginia, which
Okay.
is like an army holding base for processing refugees, because it was such a fast thing. Nobody was processed leaving there. So now we've got a little time. We're going to actually process who these people are and really dig into who they are. So they sat there for what, 2 months, Ron?
For more than 3 months.
3 months? Yeah.
They were over there for
Yeah.
further processing
Yeah.
of the paperwork, of the like medical examination, everything's like
Yeah.
this.
and your wife emotionally, like, how is she happy to be there?
Yeah, in the first when they just evacuated on the aircraft in military, it was the first time for a woman with the thousands of people, like maybe more than like 1,000, in a one aircraft.
Yeah.
They just gathered to each other. There was no other privacy to some man just touch you around your back or around your hands or on your legs, lamps like this. So for her, it was so difficult.
I bet.
Very difficult. And also, she didn't wash her body, her feet for more than 2 days.
From going through
All
the sewage
shits,
canal.
all
Wow.
the shits, all the dirt from the sewage canal.
Yeah.
When she just crossed that, it was just inside at her body.
Wow.
Yeah, and she just like had very like a bad smell. So when they just got Qatar, and after that they just got to here in Fort Picket. When I was talking with her, she had a good feeling. Yeah.
Good.
And she was so happy, and she didn't care about anything on the past. She was just thinking for the future, especially for my kids, for our kids. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And when that was going on, it was like these people, Ram, I don't care what you say, your family's coming to live at my house. They got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I'll be damned if we're going to make it this far.
Right.
And you get thrown in a dangerous neighborhood
Right.
somewhere, because that's what happens.
Yeah, I
is a
bet.
lot of refugees end up going to the inner cities of these places. Number one, where it's dangerous. Number two, where they can't afford this. They've left everything behind. They don't
Right.
have credit. They don't.
Right.
And you're going to send them to go live in this other war zone.
Right.
So I was like, absolutely not. So I rally my little town together, and we collect donations. I mean, at the drop of a hat, my wife's friends, they at the drop of a hat, man, they had beds, clothes.
Wow.
Go
Beautiful.
down the list of anything these people would need. I mean, it was like overnight it was appeared in our house. Yeah, it was awesome.
So
And
you had the family there with you before
Yeah.
he got
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
yeah.
And what was that like?
Unbelievable. I mean, it took forever. Once they got to Fort Picket, the army base for processing, was it 2 months they were there?
3 months.
3
about.
months, yeah. So they just wait, and you can imagine after everything I've been through, I still haven't met these people. We're preparing for them to get here. I don't have a job. This is my job now until Ram gets here.
Right. And
Yeah.
is your girlfriend now your wife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is she excited about it?
Yeah.
This must have been
It
crazy.
was interesting to see because, I know Afghans and I've traveled the world. She, at that point, she hadn't really, so she's asking, like, do they speak English?
Yeah.
Like, do I have to wear a hijab?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to see that clash of
I bet.
cultures.
I bet.
Yeah, because it was like she's a labor and delivery nurse, so she
Okay.
meets people who speak different languages.
Sure.
But to have somebody like that live in your house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting to see. But yeah, we finally got the call from Fort Picket. Hey, these people say that they're going to come live with you. Are you on board with that? I'm like, let's go. Put them on a plane, and they flew them into Knoxville, and me and my wife were hanging out waiting on them, and then I've got a tracking device on the plane. I know exactly where they're at, and they land like here they come, and then here they come through security, and it was like they went from people just that I just saw pictures of to like I'm now holding my interpreter's kids.
Wow.
It's just it's so powerful. It is so powerful. That's the realities of war. That's, yeah, sure, military people, they get out and they have issues and this and that, but dude, those are the ones are the most affected. These kids. These kids would have never gone to school, especially the two girls. They would have never gone to school. They would have just lived under darkness, like Ram says. Yeah. But to have them show up, and man, it was like I knew them, and I felt that, from them too. It was like, oh, this is that crazy fuck. Yeah, because remember, in the beginning of the story, his wife's like, I don't know your crazy friend. Like, who is this dude? Yeah. He's in Tennessee. But yeah, when they showed up, it was just, we swooped them up, and then, we had been collecting donations, and I put the word out in my little, southern town, which I also want to point out, and a lot of people have asked me this, the South has such a stigma for being racist, and, we don't like people that aren't white rednecks.
Right,
and that is such bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel it necessary to clear that air for other people to hear. And a lot of times it's people that aren't even from the South that are making this assumptions, But we're all poor down south together, And my little town came together and blew it out of the water. Yeah. These kids showed up, but they didn't have Social Security numbers yet. They didn't have, they were missing so many documents and things that were required for them to attend schools. But, before those kids showed up, I went to the local school system where me and my wife went to school, just a tiny little town. Kids that we went to school with are now teachers and administrators. And so it was cool to walk in there and hey guys, we don't have kids, because we don't have kids. I don't know what this is about, being a parent here. I don't know what to do, but I know I got 3 kids inbound here.
Yeah.
And I don't know when exactly they're going to be here, but the dad over here wants him going to school right away.
That's right.
Immediately.
That's right.
Which is real cool on him.
Yep.
And so we lined it up with those administrators, and I remember when we got word finally from Fort Picket that, they're coming to Tennessee, everything's ready, the green light, let's go. The day before they came, I went into that school, and I went into this administrator's office building, and it's all just a bunch, it's all a bunch of women. And I walk in there, and I didn't have the words to even tell them that, hey, okay, the family's here. I walked in there and couldn't even speak, just cried my eyes out. And they knew what was going on, And while I'm sitting there just crying like a bitch, they're lining up paperwork in front of me. These little, just sign over here, baby. Yeah, come on now. Just, hey, it's going to be okay. Just sign here. Hey, they going to be here. It's all right, And I'm just crying my eyes out and, hugged everybody and thanked them. And man, our town rallied around these people, and I'm so proud of those people. Beautiful. I'm so unbelievably proud, because they moved faster than people. I'm talking to people in the White House when this is going on. I've got contacts everywhere. Not that I'm just some high-speed dude, but when you do this work, you meet a lot of people. And those women in that school district in my town moved 10 times faster than any government entity could have even thought to do.
Because it was the right thing to do.
And I'm so proud of them for that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so they showed up. We picked them up at the airport and brought them back to the house. And man, I got 2 little 2.5-year-old twins. I got a 6-year-old girl. Nobody speaks English. His wife speaks a little bit of English. The 2 brothers spoke a little bit of English, and it was just, because we're used to living that quiet life. We don't have kids. We're hanging out here on the river. My biggest concern is when am I going to mow? When is it going to rain? Because I got to get out there and mow and weed eat.
Yeah.
And it went from we got a house full of Afghans here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wild, dude, but so cool to, they're riding around on my lawnmower, with me. They're loving it. They're like, let's go.
So awesome.
But it was so interesting to see the language. They didn't speak in any English, and now they're full blown.
Wow.
Can speak all the English.
How long they been here?
Just 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, same month, August.
But that time was really hard because he's still stuck in Turkey.
Sure.
And my bank account's dwindling. It's I'm not a rich guy. And I also told him hey, I'm not leaving until your family is in a stable environment.
Man.
And, but yeah, the donations just poured in. You know, somebody donated. There was a great couple out of Knoxville that donated. They didn't been involved with refugees in the past, and this great woman donated. She knew she wasn't going to be around that much longer, and she donated a Suburban, older Suburban, but it was in great shape. And I mean, it was just true Southern hospitality coming together to bring these people in and to make it happen.